The Kremlin has categorically denied rumours of its involvement in the plane crash in which Wagner boss Yevgeny Prigozhin is presumed to have died. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov described the accusations as an absolute lie. Moscow hasn't officially confirmed Prigozhin's death and says it's waiting for test results. Aviation authorities say the leader of the Russian mercenary group was listed as a passenger on the private jet that crashed near Moscow on Wednesday. The incident happened 2 months to the day after Prigozhin led a failed revolt on Moscow and sparked suspicions of a Kremlin assassination. Russian President Vladimir Putin broke his silence on Thursday, offering his condolences to the Prigozhin family. Russian investigators have recovered flight recorders and 10 bodies from the crash site. Well, I spoke with Ekaterina Schulmann, who's a non-resident scholar at the Carnegie Russia Eurasia Center here in Berlin. She specializes in modern Russia's legislative process and co-authored the book The New Autocracy, Information, Politics and Policy in Putin's Russia. She moved here to Germany after Russia launched its full-scale invasion of Ukraine.
Good evening. I'm also a foreign agent according to the Russian Ministry of Justice. And today being Friday, a new list of foreign agents have been published. Among them, there are my very esteemed colleagues, political scientists and journalists. It's a thing that happens every Friday, just to give you a bit of context.
Right, so and being a foreign agent, that makes you what, an enemy of the Russian state?
It legally forbids me to teach at a university or a college or a school. And if I publish anything, I have to put an announcement that I am in the registry of foreign agents.
OK.
These are my legal duties.
OK.
So you are abetting a foreign agent at the moment.
OK. I feel quite excited about that prospect. Let's start with Vladimir Putin's public statement on Prigozhin. What did you make of what he had to say?
His making this public announcement kind of gave a cue to every other official or loyalist speaker in a way in which these events have to be explained. So Prigozhin has been described as a problematic figure, but a patriot of Russia, a person with a checkered past, but who made mistakes, but who wanted the best for his country. So not a hero, not a traitor, something in between. Condolences were at least announced to his family and to the families of other victims of this catastrophe. And this means that he has not declared, frankly, that we have killed him because he was an enemy or he was flying to, I don't know, to continue his revolt. So whoever did it remained unclear, again, according to the official version. But I think what the impression they want to create is that there was some sort of bomb on the plane. So I suspect investigation will lead this way too. OK, so his announcement, this is the official line. Yeah. Everybody take notice of that. This is what we're saying. Your cynicism was apparent in that. So can we presume that he was behind this? Well, there are kind of two alternatives, all of which are bad for this official version. Again, you cannot very well say we blew up a civic plane on the Russian territory because there were some bad people on board. But you can hardly say that the Westerners, the evil Anglo-Saxons, or the Ukrainian diversants did it. So you have to somehow wiggle in between those two extremes, which are equally harmful for your official worldview, for your official picture of how things happen in Russia. So you have to throw some kind of fog of war over this whole thing.
I get that. But as far as you're concerned, this was a Putin-ordered hit.
Well, if the plane was hit from the ground, this could only be done by the Ministry of Defense, because this whole vertical of orders leads from the Ministry of Defense. If there was a bomb on the plane, then it could be the work of the FSB. That's what they do. They usually poison people, but sometimes they blow them up in this way. Is it absolutely impossible for some other commercial rivals or old enemies or whomever of Prigozhin to do such a thing. No, it is not. It is not a physical impossibility. But given the symbolism, the exact 2 months date from the revolt of June, and given that it happened between Moscow and St. Petersburg on the territory of Russia in central Russia, not somewhere in Africa, it is indeed hard to imagine that such a thing could have been done by some private actor rather than by an official or an ad hoc player acting on official orders.
So that's Prigozhin. The same day, earlier on the same day, it was announced that General Sergei Surovikin had been dismissed from his post. He was the head of the Armed and Aerospace Forces. We've seen a lot of changes at the top of Russia's military in the course of...
Yes, they happen quite often.
Yeah. So is this indicative of continuing turmoil at the top? Does Putin have a problem with his military?
We have seen no public accusations against anyone in the military. People have been demoted, not just General Surovikin, but General Popov, for example, the one who spoke publicly about problems on the front line. But there have been no criminal cases, arrests, or any repressive actions against them. It is interesting because usually if you have a failed revolt, after that you have a wave of repressions, like it was in Turkey in 2016, a rather parallel situation, and there was a wide-scale repression campaign, as we well know. Nothing of this kind so far happened in Russia, and I rather suspect it will not happen. So we will have people quietly stepping down, but again, not publicly accused of being traitors or whatever, enemies of the people. Perhaps the only ones publicly punished will be Prigozhin and his guys. And maybe we will have some non-public activity, but not a public campaign. I think that this will be done exactly to avoid the turmoil and the impression you have mentioned that there's a problem between political leadership and military command.
Fascinating. Thank you so much for outlining that for us. Ekaterina Schulmann from the Robert Bosch Foundation. Thank you.
Thank you.